It's good, YouTube family. It's your boy Roshad, and we are back again. Got another video. Yo, Super Mario Brothers movie is time, baby. It is time. Check out Mario. He looks crazy. I got the hat on. Yo, we just got done watching the Super Mario Brothers movie. It's time to do a quick review for this. I haven't done a review for a while in terms of movies, I don't think. When's the last one? It was like Creed? It was like 2-3 weeks ago. So now we back. I've been waiting on this movie like forever, it feels like. I was excited for it, more excited about this than the Sonic films because it seemed like they actually knew what the heck they were doing for the first time with Mario. You know, with Sonic, I felt like the movie, I just felt like that was gonna be pretty decent after they fixed the crazy animation of the crazy evil looking demented Sonic face. But in the Mario movie, they seemed like they really were on top of it from the beginning. They spent a long time developing it, working on who they were gonna have to do the voice acting, the animations. They even had like the main crew from Nintendo, Shigeru Miyamoto, for everybody who knows who he is, pretty much the granddaddy of Mario, be directly involved with the development of this movie. And the result of it was that it was good. So overall, the movie is solid. So I'm gonna get into a lot of plot details. I'm not gonna go full spoiler with this at all, but I will talk about some of the plot details. So if you just don't wanna hear nothing at all, wrong place for you, because I'm definitely gonna get into some details of it, okay? So I'm gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna talk about it from a technical perspective first, then I'll jump into the story. So technically, everything was pretty good. Like there was tons of Easter eggs. It was animated extremely well. Great soundtrack. The characters were mostly good. That's the biggest problem in the movie is with some of the characters, and I'll get into that in a moment. But they were mostly good for what they were. Non-traditional, which the problem's gonna be, that I'll get into, but mostly good. Voice acting, all that stuff, like all the usual stuff that from the checkbox, so I tick all the boxes, all the check boxes were met. So from that standpoint, you're not gonna uncover anything that like breaks the movie from that standpoint. So technically they did good. So let's get into the story. So basically Bowser goes to some Penguin Kingdom or something, and he goes and captures like the Mega Star or the Superstar. He called it like one of those that implies it was a really, really, really powerful star. So he gets this star, and he says no one can stop him now, and he's either going to use this power to forcibly marry himself to Princess Peach, or he's going to take over the Mushroom Kingdom, or both. So at least that's what he thinks. So Mario is in Chicago, I'm pretty sure they said. Was it Chicago or was it Brooklyn, New York? I think it was Brooklyn. Ooh. He's in a city. So he's in a city, and he's a plumber with Luigi, and there's like this funny scene like with the dog, like they're trying to repair something, and everything's going fine at first, and then everything just suddenly starts going wrong, and the dog kind of screws him over. It's really freaking hilarious. There's a lot of funny stuff that happens in this movie, so it's definitely worth seeing. So there's some pros to that and some cons to that, and again, we'll get to the cons. Eventually, Mario gets into the Mushroom Kingdom where things are going a lot worse. His life in the real world, which is basically what he lives in, was already going kind of crappy, and then it gets like way worse when he goes to the Mushroom Kingdom. Central theme in this movie is Mario kind of like trying to overcome bad circumstance and nobody believing in him and things like that. We've seen these types of stories like a million times. So, of course, by the end of the movie, he pretty much overcomes all of his obstacles or whatever. That's what you'd expect, right? So, he goes to the Mushroom Kingdom. Him and Luigi, they somehow get sent to another dimension in the Mushroom Kingdom, and they get separated. And the movie is basically about rescuing Luigi and the Mushroom Kingdom. So, Mario somehow has to do that, right? Now, we're going to kind of get into where the mixed opinions come in of the movie. So, this is kind of something where I overall enjoyed the movie, but I was taken aback by what I saw here because I'm be real with y'all. The movie's woke. It's hella woke. Like the way that they did Princess Peach, you can even kind of tell in the trailer, like she kind of has like this serious looking face, and she has like a freaking battle axe or something that she's carrying. So they went away from the traditional Mario where she's the damsel in distress in like literally every Mario game. Some people will say, well, she's the damsel in so many games, why does it matter if they switch it up now? I'm like, well, obviously it's tradition. Like that's, if you're making your first good Mario movie entry, why not have her be traditional? Like, how about make a sequel or make a path of her becoming like a stronger character or something in the future where the plot actually moves in that direction? But no, in this movie, she literally starts out being a freaking badass from the very beginning of the movie. Mario's going through this obstacle course and Princess Peach, she like destroys this course. Mario tries it like 100 times before he finally can complete it. Princess Peach says that she's able to complete this course easily, including like one of the first times that she tried it, whereas Mario had to try it like a bajillion times. So they're literally trying to say that she is better than Mario, which makes no sense. Like I feel like they were doing the classic attempt to diminish Mario as a character in order to uplift Peach for whatever reason. Like Peach isn't even a lot of people's favorite character in Mario. So I know she's some people's favorite character, no offense to the Peach lovers out there, but still, like the way that they did it, like you don't have to diminish Mario in order to uplift Peach. And that's not all they did. At one point, they were asking, like, Mario agreed to go and help Peach because Peach was going to help Mario rescue Luigi, who got captured. So there's a bunch of Toads. The Toads are like, wait a minute, who the heck is this guy? You know, he's trying to like give a speech or something, and then they just interrupt him. They're like, who the heck is this guy? And then Peach is like, he's nobody. And I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Like, you're telling me a writer actually sat down in the studio, wherever the heck they were writing at, you know, at a writer's table, and somebody read the script, approved the script, like, okay, so we're gonna say that Mario is nobody. Under what context is this okay? Like, Peach is saying that he's nobody. You know, I understand that the movie was about him trying to become special and stuff like that, but Mario, at least from all the history that he has, I feel like he's kind of earned that already. Whereas Peach really hasn't. She's always been kidnapped and everything. So I just felt like it was a weird attempt at wokeness here to just make her kind of an overpowered character. Now, when you see what she does, I mean, she basically like takes on like I told you about the obstacle course. At one point, she takes on a bunch of Bowser's minions and she's like destroying like all of them by herself. You know, it's really kind of crazy the way it happens. So if you're cool with that and you don't really care about what I'm saying, then you know, you're not gonna have a problem. It's gonna probably be one of the best animated movies you've ever seen in your life or whatever. Like, the movie's good, but I had an issue with this because I get tired of seeing the characters. Like, I just saw Dungeons and Dragons. In Dungeons and Dragons, you see something similar where there's a female character and she literally taking on hordes of really, really strong dudes. For whatever reason, they don't have them beat up other females too. There's always beat up dudes. So it takes on hordes of other strong dudes, and the main character is kind of like a wimp, and he kind of does like one or two things, and you know, everybody's kind of laughing at him like, oh, he's trying so hard, like, look at him, like, that's cute, right? That gets old, and they did it in this movie, and I don't know how the hell it was approved, to be honest with you, but that's what happened. They went for the empowered Peach in the movie. Take that as you will. The stuff she did do was impressive, and it was fun to watch. However, I would have preferred it to be a little bit more traditional. She pretty much almost never ran into any trouble. She always was on top of things. If anybody needed help, it was Mario who needed help, or Luigi who needed help. And you know, Mario saved Luigi. Luigi's the damsel in distress, right? So in this movie, Luigi's in trouble. They went for the Luigi's Mansion vibe, where Luigi's pretty much always afraid of everything. I get what they were going for. It works, but it's just not preferential. So that will impact my inevitable score of the movie. Now, again, what they did was fun. There was tons of action in the movie, lots of fun stuff that happened. Mario has to like literally take on and duke it out with Donkey Kong. That was like one of the funniest parts of the movie. And they got like Mario Kart in the movie. There is an appearance of a blue shell, which really screws things up. Lots and lots of crazy Easter eggs, like Easter egg on top of Easter egg. if you're a fan of the games, you'll pretty much recognize everything, and you'll want to like, just point stuff out like the entire movie pretty much. So they did a good job with that. It's just that with the main characters, which according to Nintendo themselves is pretty much their primary focus, is making everything character driven. With this, they got woke Peach, who's kind of a smart ass, and she's super strong and powerful for no reason, and there was really not much narrative reason to have her be that strong. She wasn't like professionally trained or anything. She just so happened to just be a G and just destroy everybody in the movie who crossed her path pretty much. At one point, she even is able to basically defeat Bowser. Like, now the movie's not over, but she does actually like beat him. Like, she literally like defeats him temporarily at one point in the movie. It was just a head scratcher just to kind of see this happen. So I kind of feel like they're taking stuff like away from Mario to kind of give it to Peach. And the way that she called him nobody is where I felt like, okay, y'all are deliberately kind of doing this. And I don't normally look for stuff like this. I normally can just watch pretty much anything and enjoy it, regardless of what critics say. But in this case, it was very noticeable to me that they were trying to take Mario down a couple notches to give Peach her room to shine. And I'm like, this is called the Super Mario Brothers movie. Mario Brothers. It ain't called the Princess Peach movie. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that was kind of lame. And Luigi, they didn't really give him time to do anything. He pretty much had like one scene where he did something like impressive, and that's it. It was like one time. Whereas Peach is like the whole movie, she's like always in control. She's never distressed hardly about anything. She's always like on top of everything. And I'm just like, okay, I mean, I guess it's called Super Mario Brothers, but I guess you had to hijack the movie and make it like the Princess Peach movie. Yeah! Basically, I'm like, why don't you guys just make a Princess Peach movie, or wait till a sequel and do something? But that's how people love to do it in Hollywood these days. Is like, take something that is known to be great and take the intellectual property from that, inject what they want into it just to kind of trick people into watching it and make them appreciate whatever they end up creating, instead of appropriately developing it and titling it what they want, because they know people aren't going to be interested in seeing it. If you make a Princess Peach movie, it would probably got a lot less attention than Super Mario Brothers movie, right? So, this is what they chose to do. Now, I don't want to just make this whole freaking time ranting about how they did Peach in the movie, but I feel like I had to get that point out. So, in the end, guys, the movie was still good. There was still a lot of stuff going on in the movie as far as like all the action scenes. I mentioned the Mario Kart. There's literal fighting in the movie, like throwing hands, and it was good the way it played out. A lot of funny scenes in the movie. The plot worked out well. Bowser was really intimidating, like the way Jack Black did his thing, and he's big and bulky. He's strong as crap, and he pretty much handles everybody in the movie. Obviously, until the end, where obviously they're gonna find a way to beat him. You already know that, right? So the movie was a solid entry. I just hope that maybe they'll tone it down a little bit in the future. I doubt it, but I'll probably be a little bit less excited, to be honest with you, if they don't like maybe change it up a little bit. Like, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with having the woman as a damsel in distress. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, what's the problem? There's nothing wrong with it being Luigi as well, but I don't think she ever needed rescuing in the entire movie. I could be wrong about that, but I don't remember her getting in a situation that she really like couldn't get herself out of on her own, or didn't get herself out of on her own. So, guys, I will say, because from a technical standpoint, everything was solid, I'm going to give it a pretty decent score. I give it like an 8 out of 10. Is it? Wait, 7, that's 8. 8 out of 10. So, 8 out of 10. Good movie. I just feel like they could make it definitely better if it was more true to the characters. Like, even if they had Mario be as much of a dope as he was in this movie, it would have kind of been okay. But the way that they did Peach, I don't like the way that they did Peach. Like, if they would have had Daisy come in, Daisy's like one of my favorite characters. If Daisy came in as some sort of hot shot or something, it would have made sense because that's kind of how I always envisioned Daisy. Princess Peach is more of like the, she's more like the sheltered princess type of vibe. Daisy, is Daisy even a princess? She seemed more like just kind of outgoing, if you know what I mean. So I picture her as more of the character who would just kind of just be good at things and ready to fight and stuff like that. So 8 out of 10, there's power-ups in the movie and stuff. Like, there's lots of crazy things. There's like the fire flower and the mushrooms, and there's even the mini mushroom, all sorts of stuff. I'm not going to mention everything because obviously the movie just released and y'all should check the movie out if you haven't. Just beware of what I'm saying in case you really get tired of, dudes being diminished like in everything all the time and taking them down in order to uplift the woman, like in pretty much almost all media on television these days, all entertainment on television these days. Then, if that's a problem for you, then maybe you shouldn't see it. But if you don't really care about that, you just want to go see it, it's the Super Mario Bros. Movie. It's a fun movie. Definitely go see it. So 8 out of 10, that's my score. Even the soundtrack I think was good. Like, I didn't mention that, but the soundtrack was pretty good in the movie. So the main reason why it gets those 2 points docked is because, to me, the characters are very important. And Princess Peach's character, like in the category by herself, she would get a pretty low score for me because these days it's becoming a lot more rare to have the damsel in distress. So now she's becoming more like all the other empowered females and like everything. So for me, that's not a good thing. Now she's starting to blend in more. You know what I mean? So it would have definitely been preferential for her to be the more traditional Peach, and if she had like a little hint or a little twang of sass to her, it would have made more sense. But this was a little too much for me, and I hope that they tone it down, dial it back in the future. So anyway, y'all, those are my base thoughts, and hopefully I didn't forget anything because there was a lot of stuff in the movie, and I'm also holding some stuff back because I don't want to spoil anything. So see it if you'd like. It should be releasing today to the world, April 5th, I believe it is. And I went ahead and saw this mug at midnight. I am tired. Tired as hell. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some rest. Let me know what y'all thought. Did y'all think the movie was good? Do y'all care if it's a little woke with the princess? It's not like crazy woke. There's no extra crazy stuff in the movie, but the way they did the princess was a little weird, and calling Mario nobody, it just rubbed me the wrong way. But at least everything else with the movie was pretty good. So I enjoyed it. Let me know what y'all think. Drop some comments. Drop some likes if you're still here at the end. Drop some likes if you like this video, even if you didn't like the movie. If you like this review, you want to see more, let me know, y'all. Anyway, y'all, appreciate y'all watching. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Roshad Lamar. At this point, I think I got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I got pretty much everything. I got TikTok. Got all of that. Appreciate y'all watching. Catch y'all next time. Peace.